Hi folks, Dr. Tom McNamara here again. Welcome back to our course in trigonometry. In this video I want to discuss how to find the rest of the trig functions given the value of one of those trig functions. Let's start out with an example. Given that cosine theta is, and I'm just going to take an example from right here, given that cosine theta is 24 over 25, and theta is in quadrant 4, find the remaining, or find the value of the remaining trig functions. Okay, so we're given the value of cosine, and we're told this extra bit of information that theta is in quadrant 4. Let's get ourselves a little picture going here. Okay, so quadrant 4 over in this region. So we're looking at something like that. Okay, here's theta. Now, they tell us that the cosine is 24 over 25. Now, going back to when we introduced the 6 trig functions, we know that cosine theta is x over r. So, I know my x coordinate, it's 24. I know what r is. Distance from the origin, that's got to be 25. Okay, the question is, what's that? Well, we're going to draw in a little supplementary triangle. So, this y coordinate right here, well, I don't know what it is, but I can figure it out using the Pythagorean theorem. 24 squared plus y squared equals 25 squared. So y squared, okay, I'm going to have to do some calculating with a calculator here. Those are a little big for me. Okay, 25 squared is 625, I should have known that. 24 squared is 576. So I do 625 minus 576. Oh, y squared equals 49. Y must be 7. Okay, now that tells me the side length. This information about the quadrant that I'm in tells me some important information too. I need a little more than the side length. I need the y coordinate, and that's -7. If we're in the 4th quadrant, we've gone to the right and we've gone down. If we go down, that means our y coordinate must be negative. That's important because that's going to affect the value of the trig functions. Sine theta is going to be negative. Tan theta is going to be negative. So I got a minus there and a plus there. All right, so let's knock out the trig functions. Cosine theta, well, we were given that value. It's 24 out of 25. Sine theta, -7 over 25. Tan theta, y over x, -7 over 24. Once we've got these, we can get the rest for free. Secant theta, 25 over 24. Cosecant theta, -25 over 7. Cotangent theta, -24 over 7. All right, so one of the trig functions by itself would not be enough for me to get the rest of them. If I know the cosine is positive, that doesn't exactly tell me where the angle terminates. Cosine is positive in quadrant 1 as well as quadrant 4. So I have to be given this little bit of extra information in order to get the right pluses and minuses. on my trig functions. Okay, so there are a couple of ways you can be asked this question about finding the value of the trig functions for an angle in standard position. Number one, I could tell you the coordinates of a point on the terminal side of our angle. That's what we did a couple videos back. Use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out the distance from the origin, and then go to town. Cosine is x over r, sine is y over r, cotangent or tangent is y over x. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Another way I could kind of test you on this is I could give you an angle and say find the value of all 6 trig functions for the angle theta equals 135 degrees, let's say. If I give you a specific angle like that, you can bet one of those special triangles we talked about earlier is going to be involved. Draw your picture, try to go to the positive x-axis, get one of your special triangles into that picture. And the third kind of thing I could do, third variety I could throw at you, I could give you the value of one of the trig functions, one other piece of information. I got to tell you something like this, and then put these two things together, and you can get the rest of the trig function. Just knowing that the x-coordinate is 24 doesn't tell me what the y-coordinate is. I know the x-coordinate is 24, distance from the origin is 25, but am I down here or am I up here? Well, we're given that we're in Q4, so we know we're down here. Okay? So, several varieties to this question of finding all 6 trig functions. You're going to have practice problems that deal with each type. Okay, so get ready for those.